with the most powerful bite in the world, capable not only of munching through its prey, flesh, fur, bones, eyeballs, teeth, but also to chomp through a steel trap, with an ability to release the most stinking, horrifying, revolting stench, with a gnashing, howling, spitting, gnarly approach to mating, and an appearance more gruesome than the most fearsome, withered and toothless mother-in-law, you'd be forgiven for not wanting to go near it, let alone protect it. However... Welcome to the Tasmanian Devil Unzoo, an hour's drive from Hobart on the Tasman Peninsula. The centre is devoted to the protection and preservation of these seriously unique creatures, who acquired their name from early European settlers for their unearthly screams and growls. Male and female?
Male and female, yeah. So the female's got a smaller head, pointier nose, where the male's a little bit larger, got a bigger, broader head than that female.
And so it was the female that attacked the male?
Yeah, well, the female's more so the boss of this relationship, really, big time. She's got
what
it
a surprise.
She's a bit smaller, but yeah.
And that seems quite aggressive.
Yeah, it's just showing dominance, basically. Whoever's the scariest looking and sounding gets more food.
Right. Sounds pretty much like most relationships, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, certainly.
Apparently, this loved-up pair are older, less aggressive devils, so can share a den, but they are generally solitary animals, and down here on the Tasman Peninsula, they're a healthy bunch. So are the only disease-free devils in this area?
Yeah, in the wild, that is. There are devils in breeding programs, but in the wild, yes.
So how many are there in the wild that are disease-free?
In the wild, there's not exactly sure in numbers, but maybe about 300, I would say.
Much, is it?
No, it's not. There are 10 to 12,000 devils left in the wild of Tasmania. It's just most of them being diseased, and if they're not diseased, they will be diseased.
So they are critically endangered?
Yeah, so 90% of the wild population's been wiped out since 1996 when the cancer started.
To ensure this part of the state stays cancer-free, the centre runs a Devil Tracker Adventure, a guided four-wheel drive tour through private farmland and native bush to see firsthand how these critters are being monitored.
Up here, we're just looking at the devils on our infrared motion sensor cameras, where we place meat out every night for them, just making sure they're not showing any signs of that cancer at all. So you're able to track numbers as well, I suppose? Yeah, so having the individual white markings, each devil has individual white markings. And now, how does that work? Is that movement sensitive, is it? So it's an infrared motion sensor camera, so it's got the infrared light, little red light that shines down here. Yeah. So it's taking photos of anything that comes through. Right. So that's what we're checking for? That's it. We're going to take a look. So they're quite obviously territorial. They remain in the area. Not exactly territorial, but they will hang around the one area if there's plenty of food. But I'd say, by the way, this one is happy. Happy? Yes. Nicely named. But the complex is more than just a sanctuary for the Tasmanian devil. It's been a haven for wildlife since the 1970s. Renaming itself as an Unzoo in 2014, it's a reversal of the traditional zoo concept and invites guests into natural habitats where cages and barriers are removed or concealed. We place out food for them every single day, and so we've got the little wild wallaby coming through. So conceivably, what can come in means that everything can go out again. Yeah. So other than the Tasmanian devils that need to be contained, the animals here rule the roost, so to speak. So this is where we place out a little bit of natural nectar mix for our wild honey-eater birds. So another part of the Unzoo concept, placing out a little bit of nectar mix at the same time every single day and making a sound association noise to try and coax in these wild birds. Purely from commitment to this kind of routine, they run a daily Birds of the Bush presentation. Not a cage in sight, just wild birds lured here for a feed and a look around. OK, so here we have Bossy. Bossy loves to wave on his way down as well. And some old favourites that have learnt a trick or two along the way. Now, Tocky here loves to collect coins from people. Having a pose, Tocky. Good work. A place like this never fails to remind me just how weird our wildlife is. We have screeching birds with Elvis hairdos. We've got what is ostensibly a giant rodent that, when not hopping, just sort of hangs about, and it's
rear elbows. We've got that waddling pincushion with a beak, the echidna, and the world's ugliest critter so horrendous it's even called the devil. Now, do we have a half reasonable species? There's the koala, I suppose, but really, he's just a lazy beast that hangs around in a tree all day, stoned. Boy, did we miss out.